We'll go to the next one now. And that's another interesting topic that we're going to hear. It's on looking within and beyond technology to drive sales. And to talk on that, we have amongst us Amit Gajwani. Amit, thank you for being here. Amit is Executive Vice President at Cybage and is Global Sales and Business Head. His focus is on new sales, account and relationship management with strategic clients. He provides mentorship to budding students at premier educational institutes. And of course, in a very short span, he has achieved many awards and accolades. So Amit, we are very keen to hear from you on looking within and beyond technology to drive sales. Over to you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So the exciting part is there's one Sindhi speaking after another Sindhi. Imagine two Sindhis speaking one after the other in the same conference at the same time. So I have a exciting topic, as he said, to speak about. And what I'm going to speak about is something that we consume internally. We don't sell it, we don't market it, but it's something that drives us, the DNA of the organization, and how we run it. Okay. There are a couple of things I look at, and I don't know how many of you as salespeople, if you are in sales, or if you are probably any individual which has some sort of a business target, what do you look at from people who are a part of your team? Now, to me, I believe that sales a lot of time is thought of as something which has a lot of flamboyance. There's obviously networking involved with it. There's a lot of people-to-people selling that are involved with it. But how many times do we see that a salesperson who succeeds in one scenario suddenly is not able to live up to the other? And perhaps in similar situations or in different situations comes up differently. So to me, I always felt, even when we are serving our customers or when the kind of people we have, the two important things are consistency and predictability. Very different from the traditional factors which we look at from salespeople. These are more of, you can say, delivery factors or customer service factors. But on that, in fact, let me ask you a question. Do you know which is the most consistent sales team in the, which is the most consistent sports team in the world? Any guesses? Sorry? Any sport? No. Indian cricket team is, not that consistent. No guesses? Have a look. It's the New Zealand All Blacks rugby team. They have a winning percentage of 94.4% over the last 4 years and 77.4% over the last 112 years. Now that is some sort of consistency. They are always number one when it comes to rugby, and they have maintained that consistency. Another small thing. Do you know which country has the most predictable ground transportation service? Singapore. There's one more, actually, which is slightly ahead of Singapore. No. Very surprising to me also. Hong Kong. Hong Kong has the most predictable ground transportation, and by 0.1% or even less than that, Singapore is at number 2. So when you just talk about consistency and predictability, there are very different things we look at. And some other simple factors. Why I'm going to talk about this is obviously a preface to what I'm going to speak about. You pick up anything from here. For instance, what the Ventana research says that by 2021, 66% of analytics processes will no longer simply discover what happened and why. Instead, they will also prescribe what should be done. So obviously, today we all talk about artificial intelligence, machine learning, what is prescriptive analytics, cognitive analytics, and so many different things. What I am talking about is our organization in 2005, and from that we'll start. Before, just one slide about Cybage, because I don't know how many of us over here know, because Cybage is a privately listed company, but being privately listed still, it's a 6,000 people company with 200 plus active customers globally. We do very little business in India, just like many other IT services companies. North America is our target geography predominantly, then there's Europe and Asia Pacific as well. We are a preferred vendor to almost 45 Fortune 1000 companies. And what we do is not systems integration. We build products for them, hardcore products. So a lot of times when you go out and see something for multiple clients, whether it's a Microsoft, Symantec, Expedia, Google, a lot of work that happens. We actually do a lot of product engineering for them, not systems integration. So that is just a very brief snapshot and some clients that we work with as of today, and you'll see wide variety per se, but I won't spend too much time on it. This is something we thought in 2005. We said that goal-oriented decision management solution that empowers business leaders to take informed decisions. We think about it very easily today. But at that point of time, when we were a 500 people company, we said that there are some things that has led to our success to become 500. Now, can I make sure that it becomes as consistent as predictable when we grow from 500 to 1,000 to today where we are 6,000 or to 10,000 people? Can I replicate that? Can I make sure that things that happen now do not happen by chance? It's not that you got lucky or you had a wonderful person working with you, your sales or relationship manager was the best in the world, and that's why you got successful. Can I make my entire process more consistent and more predictable in nature? And there is only one way you can do that, which is data. Again, a lot of things I say may be very relevant today. We call this framework of ours Decision Minds. Like I said, it's an internal framework. The name was given at that point of time. We said decisions are such that if you make the right decision, it's a gold mine. If you make the wrong decision, it's a landmine. So let's call it Decision Minds. 2005, 2006, a long time back. Now, a very simple concept before I go into it. We all know this. What is descriptive hindsight? Descriptive hindsight is basically what happened. Simply, something has happened and you are saying what happened. The next thing that comes to play is what is diagnostic insights. Why it happened at any point of time. We say what happened, why it happened. And the next one is predictive. Now that it has happened, what can I do next? Something's happened and what can I do beyond it? But the next interesting part is, can I prevent it from happening the next time? Prescriptive insights. And finally, very, very few companies and products or even things in the market do that, is cognitive insights. Now our system, which obviously, like I said, we consume internally, doesn't do cognitive, but it reaches to prescriptive insights. We run our entire organization on this, and not today, for the last 14 years. We're only going to talk about sales today, that's what we look at. But we run it on talent acquisition, we run it on talent optimization, compliance, revenue management, lead management, sales management. You cover the entire organization, we run it on prescriptive insights. Now, a very important thing about data is, in its raw form, it can be interpreted in different ways. The key thing about data is, what does it mean for you? What does it mean for the role that you are playing, and how it can be converted for you to make informed decisions. That is the key part about data. We all knew that data was important even at that point of time. Yes, adopting data to be more superior to human decision making was always a challenge. There was always a conflict between human ego. The biggest challenge to adopting data is human ego, because our ego and our mindset and our experience says that this is right. But that's our experience and that's our limited view. Whereas data has a much, much larger view, which is like just looking at the mirror. It's nothing else. But it gives you a much better 360-degree view. Now, as a salesperson, let's see, whenever we go, now I'm talking about sales, account management, relationship management, all three under the bucket of sales. The first important thing is, I have some customers. As a sales head, my question is, I want early warnings on the probable customer drop with actionable insights into the focus. Like, we all gain customers, we all lose customers. But at any point of time, if I were to know which is the next customer that I'm about to lose, which is the second next customer that I'm about to lose, and the third one, do we know that accurately at any point of time? Or for that matter, I'm running after 100, 200, 300 prospects at any point of time. Do I know which prospect I should go after, because not just the size of the deal, the chances of conversion, and its fitment to my organization is the best. And then what should I be doing about it? Do I know? I have a lot of prospects. My gut says that this is going to be very good and this is going to be the second good. That's gut. Now imagine you have 50 salespeople. How do you make sure whose gut is better than the other and who's doing the right thing, who's not doing the right thing? Can I do something like that? As a BU head, do I know that I am making you know what, this customer is too good. I want to make extra investment on this customer because I know the impact of it or the returns I will get by virtue of future growth, references, anything is phenomenal. Do I know which customers I should make more investment in or which less, which medium, which are not worthwhile customers in a very scientific manner? Or which customer has the potential of, we all spend our bandwidth, the senior management bandwidth. Which customer needs my bandwidth and which probably doesn't? It's again a lot is on gut feel. And finally, another question is customer feedback. If I look at it, how do I normalize it? What do I gain from it and how do I act upon it? And last is the accounts that we are working with. What is the health? And how do I make sure that the health always keeps improving in a continuous manner? Now, I'll just take 3 more slides over here. There are just 3 slides. The first is, whatever you see over here is our in-house live system. So it's not as fancy or sexy looking, but it does the job. Customer retention. So how we measured customer retention. We currently have 200, 220 customers, but in the last 23 years of our existence, we have worked with probably 900 customers. So which means we have lost 600, 700 down the road, or maybe 500 customers down the road, whether they didn't have money or they didn't have much projects to do, whatever be the reason, we were not good enough, but we have lost. There's so much data available on what type of customers you lose, what were the characteristics, what happened, multiple different things. How many times we have analyzed that? So we have a system over here which tells amongst the 220 customers which we are most likely to lose to the least likely to lose. So this variance is between minus 100% to plus 100%. Minus 100% is obviously the highest risk. Plus 100% is it's a very safe customer. Nothing is going to happen to it. So firstly, it's about collecting that data. How do you collect that data? It's based on your past data at any point of time that you're collecting, and then you have normalized it. Every time you lose a customer, you try to fit it to a pattern and see, did it follow a certain pattern? What sort of parameters were more influential in doing that? So let's see at some of the parameters. We work a lot with North America. Is this customer West Coast, East Coast, European, Australian? The same thing can be done about India as well. Where is the customer located? Is there some cultural affinity pattern associated with it? Who is the person who's managing it? Many times you realize that you don't have the right person managing the right customer. So is it the manager who is working with that particular customer more responsible, or the manager has no role to play? You put any manager, the same thing would have happened. How was its health over the last few days, last few months? What kind of escalations happened? Where did it fall under the type of escalations? What is the longevity of the customer? Did you recently sign that customer 0 to 6 months? So it tells you, do you lose customers in your first year, second year, third year? Do you lose it after 7 years because you get too complacent about it, you're not adding the value, or whatever be the reason? There are multiple other parameters. What is the sort of team you created for that particular customer? What was the hierarchy that you try to create? The relationship management. You give different weightages to them. And these weightages, because of machine learning built into the system, keep improving themselves, correcting themselves automatically. So at the end of the day, you know what steps you need to take to prevent that customer from going away. Do you want shift? Multiple steps can be taken, but you're preemptively trying to take, I won't give a price hike, I will add a better governance structure, I will try to see that this customer, you know what, I've just been doing simple work, can I add value over a period of time to that customer by giving him something which he's not looking for, or something that he would have perceived but he's not getting out of it. So there are a number of action items you can take in a preemptive manner, because those action items, when taken in the previous past, would have helped. So what happens is, if I have 20 customers, it automatically tells me which are the 20, how they are ranked, and what actions I should be taking which are differentiated across different customers. So for the persona, for my KRA, it creates informed insights. The next is Prospect Connect. We all grow. Now, Cybage has a growth rate of 13.5% CAGR over the last 5 years. And why it is interesting is, it's nothing great, 13.5. It's purely organic. We have never acquired a company. There's never been any existing or external investment. So we grow a lot through references. 80% of our business comes from references. Now, how do I know which reference is more likely to give me business? So reference is not a customer, reference is a person. What we do is we track a person. We say that these are the people who at any point of time give us more business, or these are the characteristics of a person who gives us more business. And what we do is we feed it into a system. I may be working with him today, I may not be working with him today. But everyone is fed into the system. And then we find out many things. If this person gives me business, how is the fitment to our company? Which means if it falls within my strength, my ability to service that customer is better. So my likelihood of getting that customer and servicing him better is higher. Then we see what is his designation. The more senior he is, which means he's the decision maker, which means I give him more points. How long have I known him? If he's very new to me, I don't have that kind of relationship. But if I've known him for a very long time, I give it a higher weightage. Has he been happy with me over a period of time? Has he been cribbing? Has he been just neutral? And then you look at multiple things. How far is he from me? Can I meet him very often or not? It's a very simple point. But if the person is in my same city, vis-a-vis if I am sitting in New York and I have to fly to Denver to meet him, I will not meet him that often. So you put in number of different factors and you give weightages to those factors. So what happens is the person, every prospect in our company has a certain points. And then every activity I do with that person gains me points. So for instance, when I meet him for coffee, I say 40 points. Have I taken him out for dinner? 50 points. Did I wish him on his birthday? Everything we do as a salesperson, we are giving points to it. And what we say is human mindset. If I like a person a lot, I will do a lot of activities with him. I'll take him out for dinner, and he's more acceptable to me taking him out for dinner or wishing him or sending him a gift, multiple things. But if we overdo the activities, what's the point? Should I then shift for doing some activities with other people who have been neglected and who still have a higher weightage? So it converts a gut feeling into a very structural format, and it tells you these are your prospects, these are their scores. Scores means their likelihood of giving business and what activities you do against them. It also tells, I am an outgoing person, I like taking people out for lunch or dinner. If someone is not, he just sends an email, Happy Diwali, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, like a post on LinkedIn. He's not doing the other part. So it tells you this person needs a little bit of grooming in that sense so that he can do the other activities. It is giving you actionable insights to a manager, to the head, what to do, and to an individual also what to do. And the last is account health. Again, very simple. Red means the account is in bad shape. Blue means in great shape. Red means we have to take care of the account. What does blue mean? If the account is in very good shape, that means also it's an opportunity, which means you are over-servicing that customer. Can you do something where you can shift? We always say, "Arey, customer bahut khush hai, let it be." But is he over-happy? Can the resources be moved? Can the effort you're putting be moved to somewhere else? Because money comes from one central place. Can you balance the money so that you can service everyone better? So it's not about just the most sad customer, it's more about the happiest customer also. Is he too happy from that perspective? So you find out why a particular customer is unhappy. See, we are an IT services company. You hire from outside. So for instance, in a customer of 5 people, all 5 people were hired from outside, which means you didn't know exactly their attitude, their aptitude, how good they were. You just knew their technical skills. So that could be one of the reasons that this team has been created from outsiders. They don't have your company culture, and that's why the customer is unhappy. They didn't have the requisite domain knowledge or very high attrition in the team. That is why someone is unhappy. The fitment, which means the task given to a person is not most capable of doing it. Multiple other things happen when a customer is unhappy. You need to find out. The customer will just come and tell you, I'm unhappy. Or his perception will be the manager is not working right with me or my relationship person is not doing the right job. But that's a perceptive thing. You have to diagnose it, which boils down to the minutest characteristic of an individual, the environment, and many other things. And you give weightages to each of these things. And then you take actions. A lot of you, if you're in IT companies, you have buffer resources, right? In point of time. How do you allocate buffer resources? When we were smaller, what we used to do was we used to say 10 people project, give him 1 buffer resource. Today we don't do that. We are, like in our system, like I said, I'm only talking about sales, we have a module which accurately predicts of the 6,000 people who's most likely to leave to the least likely to leave. Accurately. We know this person is about to leave. Now it's up to us whether to stop him, because stopping him will cost us more money. Does he deserve to be stopped? Just because a manager comes and tells me he deserves to be stopped doesn't mean he deserves to be stopped. Because there are 200 managers who are not coming and telling me. What happens about that? You go with one person's perception? No, you normalize it and then decide whether the person needs to be stopped. So very intelligent allocation of buffer resources. Domain training. Who needs training? Does the person nominate himself for training? I want to be trained on this technology. Doesn't matter. I will only train you if it helps the project and you deserve that training. Because, like I said, there's only a fixed amount of budget. How can you use it? You use it more judiciously so that the impact of that budget is very high. So, number of other things. You take help from your architect pool and many other things so that you preempt the customer health from going bad before the customer comes back. And the last step is, if I am the head, if I am the sales head, I am the sales head, so I have to take care of relationship management, account health, and sales, all three. Now, how do I decide which is more important to me? I showed you all three, but to me, all three report into me. So how do I decide which of the three is more important for me to look at today? So this is my dashboard. It is prioritized and normalized across all the three functions, which means, is it more important for me to today and stop someone from attrition, or tell him that go and contact this prospect, or look at account health? The maximum impact it could have on business is what we try and do today. So it's normalized across all of them, again based on past historical data which has gone into machine learning. So this is how you see dashboards. What are dashboards? Dashboards are nothing but just ticketing systems which come to you. So every strategic action in our organization is converted into a tactical action item. Strategy has absolutely no meaning, this is what we think, unless it has a tactical execution plan. So a very good way to camouflage strategy is to convert it into a tactical action plan and say, this is what you're supposed to do in a prioritized manner. Our CEO, who's the founder, has his own dashboard as well. This is what he looks at. And this is what we do. We are a 6,000 people company. I have only 13 salespeople on the ground, which is 1/10 of my nearest competitor. Only 13 salespeople, and it's double digit only for the last 2 years. That is it. I don't have more people. Yet, we do a 13.5% CAGR with no external investment, no acquisition, sales and marketing budget, which is 1.7% of the organization revenue. And we get 82% reference customers. Because at the end of the day, it is about what you deliver to the customer, and if you can do that in a very scientific manner. So if you use science in an informed manner, you are able to achieve these kind of numbers. And we are a private company, not yet listed. 97% of our employee workforce is offshore. So when we say that the Indian IT industry is impacted by visa issue and all, we had absolutely no issue. We are going to cross 20% organic growth this year, which will be much higher than any other years. Obviously, the rupee also helped the dollar. But still, it's a phenomenal growth rate with just 13 people. None of these 13 people come from a sales background. Either someone is an IT guy, program management, project management, delivery management, technology. So when they sit with the customer, they're not talking sales. And they believe in the power of science and the power of data. So data in itself has no value unless it is converted into informed decisions for you. So we have 200 people in our company who have their personalized dashboards every morning when they come into the company. And it's prioritized in terms of the maximum impact for their role and the dashboards. Thank you. I'll end with just one comment which Mr. Bill Gates made, that analytical I'll let you read it. So it obviously says the human touch is very important, but it's the last mile is the human touch. Everything before that can be done by data and informed insights. The last mile is the human touch. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Amit. That was really, really good. A lot of perceptions, but then how really we can use data to kind of manage every aspect of the business, and more importantly, the sales in a very focused fashion was really, really good. So I call upon Karanjit, please come over and hand over the memento to token of thanks to Amit. Please come.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thanks a lot.